What's going on, people? Back with a bang. This is the Money Management, back here to bring you guys another weekly recap. So in this video, we're going to talk about my trades that I took this week personally. We're going to talk about the trades that Discord took and all the big wins. Shout out showing off for that almost 800% return, by the way. We're going to talk about Nike earnings, how that went on Thursday. We're also going to talk about a few stocks I'm watching going into next week. Not all of them, because a lot of them are going to be typed into Discord. And then we're also going to touch on how September went overall as a month. So before we do that, make sure you guys drop a thumbs up, show some appreciation, show some love to the video. It is completely free to do that. And of course, make sure you guys comment, share these videos with your friends, and also subscribe if you're new around here. So to start off with, I want to go into Nike earnings because they reported earnings a couple of days ago on Thursday. Let's just see how that went. So, as I mentioned before this week, Nike was going to have earnings this week, and they had earnings on Thursday. And it was all right. It wasn't as good as we expected. It did cause the stock to skyrocket. As you can see, we're up almost 7% yesterday. And to be honest, just to briefly go over what happened, their revenue grew, the cost of sales grew, gross margin fell, which isn't good. But overall, it was a decent earnings. Now, as I've said throughout the last few weeks, I think these shares are way underpriced. They're way undervalued right now. If you look at what's happened year to date, they've really sold off. They've been hit hard this year. But I think there's still better deals on the market, to be honest. If I was to look and see, if I was buying this stock, not at these prices, I still need it to fall a little bit more. But yeah, like I said, Nike did have earnings, and what happened was pretty much what we expected. In the run-up to earnings, it just kind of kept selling off. Then earnings was anybody's guess, but earnings did see the stock rise, like I said, 6-7%. So that was a good recovery day for Nike yesterday. But overall, the markets had one of those sell-off weeks. I think it was one of the weeks where we saw what we'd have been expected for September, which was a red month. I think we still got a lot of stocks to still, keep selling off throughout the next couple of weeks. And yeah, let's just dive into the stocks that I traded this week. Let's see what I'm watching for next week. Also, let's talk about a couple of interesting stocks which I could see start kicking off sometime soon. As you can see here, I've been recently looking at Tesla, PayPal, Disney, a few of the usual suspects. But let's jump over to trading and start looking at the charts. And I think in this video, I'm going to start off by talking about, like I said, the stocks I trade this week, and then we're going to move on to the big hitters, some of the stocks you use and have heard of daily, like the Apples, like the Metas, etc., etc. But let's just start off with what I traded this week. So I took AMD Monday. Laptop's been a bit slow today. Puts on Apple, guys. But yeah, no, I took AMD on Monday. I took the $97 calls to start the week. And if I had waited a few days, this would have gone a lot better than it did go. Pull up the daily chart. So, why did I take the $97 calls? Well, I have a line of support here, $95.31, as you can see. If we go to the 4-hour chart, or in fact, no, we can go to the hourly chart, just to go to what happened Monday. And this is what really reminds me that I am primarily a swing trader. So AMD Monday's chart. To the $97 calls. It went well. I decided to swing. Tuesday it sold off. Now let's say I had a low stop loss, a very low stop loss. What would have happened is you see a double bottom here on the level of support at $95.31, and then it took off. Unfortunately, I didn't make any money on $97 AMD calls. By the end of the week, AMD had already touched $105 at some point, or almost $105. So I took an L with that, but it's all right because I bounced back a couple of days later with Tesla puts. So I took the 240 Tesla puts. Coming away with a home run. Shout out Oscar because he always smacks Tesla on the head. But yeah, I took the 240 puts for Tesla. Look how it sold off. Crazy amount. And it started to recover. I got out in the middle of the day Wednesday, so just after it was in the money, around 2:38, I'd say. Let's go into a smaller time frame. So Wednesday, somewhere around here, decided to get out. It did look like it had sold off way too quickly and it was oversold, so I was like, yeah, that's it for me. But obviously, it was enough for me because coming away with almost 160% returns, I can't complain with that. Tesla, as of late, has been more downtrending than uptrending, which is good because we've seen more bearish momentum, and that's what I want to see because I want to get some Tesla shares, and also because I do believe that it was a little bit overbought, back in July. So it was time for it to cool off a bit. So yeah, that was Tesla. And then lastly, took 2 trades yesterday. Amazon was one and Exxon puts was another. So Amazon, the daily chart, looks like we just didn't fall to this 200 moving average. Looks like we didn't hold below the level of support either. Pull up the hourly chart for yesterday's trading. So we did start well. We did hold above the moving averages. We opened up nicely, and I thought, yeah, this is a good opportunity for the Amazon calls. If you look at the 15-minute chart, we were bouncing on the moving average and continuing trending up. So I thought, yep, a good time to take these calls. Unfortunately, it just decided to sell off. Sometimes that is going to happen with stocks. Your technical analysis can be on point, but the stock can just still sell off. So I had to cut losses on those Amazon calls. Shout out to Bob though, because I got my payback with Exxon puts. Went with the in the money puts with Exxon, and it did sell off. Now I got in a little bit late after it continued selling off, somewhere around here. Did catch a nice drop, was able to get 30% with that. So shout out Bob for the Exxon puts. But yeah, that was it. My 4 trades of this week. You don't have to trade that many times each week. Remember, I'm primarily a swing trader, so I'm not going to be taking 7, 8 trades in a week. That's just me. But now, like I said, let's go to those stocks that you trade and you use every day. I mean, I was just on Meta just a few minutes ago on the marketplace there, snooping around and trying to sell some things as well. But yeah, Meta. If we zoom out, let's check the daily chart. Let me show you guys. We're at the $300 level. This is a key level. Here we go. We've been consolidating a little bit. We've been in this little channel between about $293 and $300 and not really been able to break out. We're getting rejected by this 307 level continuously. Every time we do push up to that level, we seem to just sell back down. Here, you've seen it here, you've seen it here. When we broke it last time, we sold all the way down to 270s. So I'm watching Meta. I want to see a break above $307 and a really strong push up towards 322. Otherwise, if we get rejected at this level again, I'll be looking at puts down to around these levels, around 285, so about a $15 drop. So that's for Meta. Then Apple. As you guys know, Apple has had a bit of a rough period of time. It's been showing a lot of signs of weakness. Very, very weak right now. Every time we push up to that 9-day moving average, we sell off. It looks like right now, we just wicked off the 9-day moving average again yesterday. My level of 172.20 right there is a level of support. But as you guys know, old levels of support can become new levels of resistance, which is what it seems to have happened here. So I'm looking for Apple to push above, like Meta, push above this key level and start showing signs of strength. But I don't think it will. I'm looking at more Apple puts going to next week. Another $4 or $5 drop down to my next level of support. You guys have heard the news surrounding Apple with the iPhone 15 releases, with the banning of the iPhones in the Chinese government. A lot of negative news around Apple. So at this moment in time, it's looking weak. It's very weak. And I don't see it recovering within the next few trading days. Now, of course, it's been hit hard, but it can still recover. It's not about what I say. It's about what it's going to do based on what the market does. Let's talk about a different sector now. Let's jump over to the banking sector. So you've got stocks like JP Morgan, you've got Bank of America, you've got Wells Fargo. So JP Morgan had a terrible day yesterday. As you can see, buyers tried to step in and push it up. It sold off. After a few good green days in a row, it started selling off. Wells Fargo. This is a nice chart. Potential double bottom here on the daily chart. Getting rejected by the moving average. But look at the 4-hour chart for Wells Fargo. Looks like there's some consolidation. Potential breakout coming. We'll have to keep that on watch. But it could also just break down. Again, there's that double bottom here. 4-hour chart, you can see it too. Clear pattern here. And then Bank of America. Ticker symbol BAC. Pull up the daily chart. Obviously, it's been very bearish last few months. Daily chart closed below the moving average. Tried to push above the moving average. And then ended up closing well below. Look at the 4-hour chart. And Bank of America I traded last week as well. 4-hour chart, still looking bearish as well. RSI seems to be showing some kind of divergence, I think. It's not converging just yet. So yeah, banking sector has also been a bit iffy as of late. And I do want to pull up this stock because this one moves on news, you guys know, FUBO. So we're at 267. But what I want to show you is this 4-hour chart. This is beautiful. From Monday till now, it's managed to gain a lot of momentum. All it's going to take is a bit of good news next week. Look at that. 5 green days in a row. Find me another stock that had 5 green days in a row and showed such consistency. Now we're just below that 200 moving average. But again, the price target will be around that 306 level for FUBO. All it's going to take, as I mentioned, is some good news released Monday, an indication of how well they're performing or any insights into what could be coming up next. And then, hey, this could take off again. Jump 30, 40 cents very easily within a few days. So FUBO is on the watch for calls. There will be a lot of other stocks on the watch for calls as well. And there'll be a lot of stocks on the watch for puts. But you need to come to check out the Discord to see those. As I always like to do, touch on Mara and Riot. Mara has been very bearish. So has Riot, as crypto has been selling off. But if you are a crypto investor, this could be time to go long on crypto. Again, Riot selling off. If you look at Bitcoin, again, no real sign of breakout. A little bit of a consolidation period, let's say. Really hanging in between about 27.4K and 25.6K. So almost like a 2K range, let's say. But I do want to see Bitcoin show signs of strength and then continue pushing up. What we had back in June, that'd be great to see again sometime soon. So there was that 12-day period of just rallying for crypto. We jumped about 7K. Let's see if we can do the same or similar as we just holding around the 200 moving average. Let's see if we can see the same, do the same again. Back in August we had that heavy drop. Going into October, we'd like to see a push for crypto. And the last stock I'm going to touch on today is Palantir. I'm thinking about maybe going long on Palantir now. Ideally, May would have been the time to buy, of course. You would have had almost a double up by now. But it did look like there was a double top here on the daily chart. So that was something you need to watch out. But in this case, why am I watching Palantir? If we zoom all the way out with Palantir, and if you're into AI, this could be the stock for you, honestly. $16 does look like a good price point. Just a couple years ago, we were at $26, $30. Now we're starting to show signs of strength again. If you look at the 4-hour chart, you will see the strength. There we go. You're seeing signs of strength. The last few days, it's just starting to make a push up. It is a little bit overextended right now, so I expect a little bit of a pullback, but I am looking for Palantir to continue pushing up. Back in the end of August, we topped out around $16.40. Let's see if we can push past those levels going into this week. But I'm intrigued to see what this does long term. Again, Kathy was involved, and apart from her, let's say, failure with the fund, dating back to last year, we have seen that a lot of the things she buys, a lot of the stocks she's invested in, a lot of the companies she's involved with do have good financials, do have good potential long term. So again, Palantir, especially if you're AI intrigued and AI bullish, let's say, Palantir is one you should be looking into. It is one I'm looking into long term, just like PayPal, just like Square. And again, short term, we could see that push back up to $16.40 and then eventually make our ways up to the $18 range. So that's mainly it for today's video, guys. Make sure you go and drop a thumbs up and comment as well. Also, make sure to subscribe if you're new out here. And I'm going to say it again. Come and check out the Royal Trading Academy. There have been so many wins in the Discord this week. Shout out Shonuff, 777% returns yesterday. Shout out SPX. She also made crazy games with Snow. Shout out Bob, Oscar. Shout out everybody, Devon, Supreme, all of you guys who did really well this week. This is Dose for Life. It will teach you about the ins and outs of options, the terminology, the Greeks, how I trade, how to trade the markets, all that kind of stuff. Go and check out the stock option starter pack. It's a $99 one-time fee. Go and get that for yourself. And then check out the socials, the Wealth Prince on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok, all the same handle. Make sure you guys show some love there as well. Help me grow, help you grow, and help us continue pushing this forward. But that's it for today's video. Check out next video. Make sure you guys are back here next time for another video. I got money making. You got money making. See you guys next time for another video. Peace.
Game over.